Miss Marvel Episode 2 is finally out, and it's time to discuss this thing in full spoilers. Make sure to leave your thoughts down below, because we can have that great conversation, as well as hit that like and subscribe button, because I don't just cover Miss Marvel on these type of nights. I also cover Obi-Wan Kenobi, which just dropped as well. So let's talk about both of those with full spoilers down below. So Miss Marvel Episode 2, like I mentioned in Episode 1, quite enjoyed the episode. Big surprise, because I wasn't too much looking forward to this episode, but with the vibe of the coming of age type story that Dope gave us. If you've never seen Dope, an excellent movie, but more MCU-ish. I'm really into this, and this episode was kind of gave me reminiscence of certain things that Sam Raimi did within the first Spider-Man film. Not saying it's as great as the Sam Raimi Spider-Man film, but just the way of her training, mixed with Shazam as well. Just kind of that montagey feeling showing her training on the roof, I thought was great. And it just goes as far to show how much I am loving this actress playing Kamala. How she's totally embodying her to the point where I just find her so damn delightful, which is one of the core pieces of why I've always really liked the character of Miss Marvel. A character that I've really much in the last year and a half kind of more come onto. And it's really impressive to see how this show really much brings that angle, even though they have changed completely what her power set is. I understand some people are very bothered by that, but still, it's a show that really much holds its heart and spirit in front of it. And it's not going to be for everyone. And if you told me you absolutely hate the show and you think it's such trash and boring, I would get it. But for me, what episode 2 does is it does a couple things. It, one, establishes more of the culture, her friends, her family, certain things like that very much intrigue me, as well as bringing in a new character who she totally has a crush on, which we've all been there. And maybe there's a little bit more behind the scenes on that, which I absolutely knew going into this. But it's also the aftermath of what happened in the last episode, where she finds out that she has powers after putting on that bangle on. And what powers does that kind of go into, and how does she train herself to become a hero that she should be and the hero that she looks up to be? Those are things that I'm looking forward to this. And in this episode, it contains that. It brings it to life. And again, family element, the friend element, very much enjoying that. They're so delightful, and that's something that the show holds to its hard hat. It is delightful. It's small scaled. It kind of, in a sense, maybe the easiest comparison to give it to is the first Ant-Man film and Spider-Man Homecoming. Those are two movies that very much were boots to the ground, very small scale, but as well a little bit of the Defender style. Like when she's running through the alleyway, I got very much a reminiscence of Daredevil and Luke Cage for some reason, even though it's definitely not as dark and gritty as those shows were. It gave me that feeling, and I really dug that. And one of the things that I really liked in this episode, again, was her training, showing how she's kind of going around. And the visual effects on that, a little bit hit or miss here and there, but I really dig it in the look of it. You know, if you're going to change up her power set, sweet. Give me what you can here. And seeing that work really much ties into the ending of this. And her friend Bruno is just, that's the type of friend you want right behind your back, training you and pushing you to be your best. But leading into this, of course, she goes on her first date, quote unquote, you would say. And this guy, the second added in, I'm like, it's too good to be true. I do not believe this for a second, that he actually likes her to this standard, maybe as a friend, but nothing more than that. And my feelings for that were very much established by the end of this episode, which thankfully they didn't hold in. And I'm actually really liking the pacing of this show so far. It's, in a sense, kind of better than some Marvel shows where it's like they take so long to establish kind of what is going on and giving you answers that you pretty much already know. This is the first show to actually kind of start, okay, let's keep this pacing going. Every episode establishes something new while also doubling down on what we learned beforehand, which I really like. So, also moving in here, let's just get into the ending finale. You know, they go to this whole festival, and there's a kid who starts dropping down, and oh no, we gotta save him. And who's gonna save it? Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel herself, gets up on there and performs her first hero stunt, which I was actually got a little bit intense. I didn't think they were gonna drop the kid, but when he actually dropped, when we saw that weird spiritual thing, which we start figuring out that, this belonged to her, not her great grandmother, but that grandmother's mother. And there's certain instances in that where it's like, okay, well, let's see where that goes. Where did she disappear to? What is this bangle all about? And those are interesting aspects, and I'm curious to see how they establish what her powers are in the way that it's coming from her, within her, which I like that. It's like it activated a power cell in her, which I like, because it could kind of be, in a sense, like a mutant type thing, but it's not. But I dig that. I digress. But seeing that kid, she gets up there, it's really cool. She's trying to be the hero. Then this weird spiritual thing tries to grab her, and it makes her lose concentration. He starts falling. She starts throwing all those different power things out, and he breaks his leg, I guess, or does something. But he lived, right? Better than nothing, and she did the best she could. As her first accomplishment as a superhero, she did what she possibly could, and I really dug that. And then ending in seeing her running through the rooftops, then I think it's damage control, whatever it may be, comes into play, and they're chasing her down. Looks like the same drones from Spider-Man Far From Home. Start trying to chasing her down, takes him down, flips over, and of course, hey, her boyfriend! Not really. Gets in the car, and there is his mother behind him. I think they said his mother. Interesting. Where does this lead to? No end credit scene this week. I'm interested. And again, I'm just enjoying it. Like, I'm along for the ride. Like, this isn't the best Marvel show they've done yet, but for where my expectations were, I'm just digging the vibe, and I think a lot of this comes down to Kamala. Kamala is an excellent character, and I'm loving her introduction into the MCU. So let me know down below what your guys' thoughts are on this episode. Did you like it? Did you not? Hit that like and subscribe button as well. And thank you so much again for watching this. So, of course, until next time, stay classy.